Hey guys, you're listening to me reading stuff. This is Robin O'Neill. Normally, I'm a little more high energy. Today, not so much. I'm low energy today, so my apologies if my voice sounds a little deflated. I'm just having a day where it kind of feels like I woke up with a gray cloud over my head or something. So that's what we're dealing with today. That's what we're working with. I keep getting these responses to the podcast where people say I really am like a motivational speaker. I really kind of like amp people up somehow to do things, which is so funny. I cannot even believe that. I like that. I guess I do have a certain kind of, I guess it feels like a drive to encourage others to do things they want to do. That seems really basic. Who doesn't have that? But I do have a particular need in that area of life where anytime I'm very interested in those things about people too. Even when I talk to strangers on the street, somehow I land on conversations about what anyone wants to do with their lives and how we can make that happen. I guess it's a part of me. I don't know what the deal is. I'm also into strategizing with people about how they can make things happen. So there's that. If this was a conversational podcast, we would deal with that with each and every one of you listeners. Speaking of listeners, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to call him a colleague. He's a friend. His name's Tyler Bright Hilton. I will put a link to his artist website in the description of this podcast. Amazing artist. You're going to die. And I'll just say this. If you like my work, which not all of you do, that's okay. But if you do, you're probably going to like his work way more. So I shouldn't even recommend it because none of you guys are going to like me anymore. So I'm not even going to say anything about it. I just want you to click and look. We have some things in common, visually speaking, quite a few things. So you'll see that. But he emailed me he's a me reading stuff listener. He emailed me to tell me that he figured out that iTunes is completely bigoted towards other countries. So in the United States here, I can see a certain amount of reviews. I haven't gotten any in a while. But Tyler explained to me that he up in Canada has a whole different view of my iTunes reviews. Long story short, I don't really know how this is working, but I can't see other countries' reviews. And apparently I have quite a few elsewhere in the world. And I can't thank Tyler enough for telling me that. So he showed me the Canadian reviews. So I want to I've not seen these until Tyler showed them to me. So what befell Adele? Tyler, Two Giraffes, and Jay Dart, I want to thank you guys so very much for these really sweet reviews. You Canadians, I don't know if you're all Canadians, but this is what I'm assuming based on Tyler's discovery here. I know Jay Dart is. I'm going to put a link to his work too. And if I knew you other guys and gals and knew what you were up to, I would put a link there too. So let me know if you want to. Give me an email at mereadingstuff@icloud.com. If any of you guys see in your respective countries other reviews that I haven't read or mentioned here recently. I know I wasn't reading all of them in the beginning of the podcast, but now I like to just give everyone their due shout out. Let me know. Email me a screen grab of the reviews you're seeing that I can't see. So that would be very helpful. Thank you. Today, I'm going to be reading Mary Karr. Where is my Mary Karr? This is Actually, it came from Poetry Magazine, September 2012. I'm also going to put a link to poetryfoundation.org. All of you should get on there regularly. And also they have an app for your phone. It's free. And you can search based on your mood or what you're interested in reading about. It's pretty fascinating how you can do this on your app. I love their app. I just recently downloaded it, but you can look under topics like passion or optimism, spirituality, commitment, boredom, doubt, and you'll find a whole list. Usually it's around 60 to 200 will fall under any, and you can even do subcategories. So if you want passion with a subcategory of death, you got it. If you want passion with a subcategory of trees, they've got that too. I'm not even kidding. So you're going to like that. But this is, so Mary Karr, she's She was born in 1955, American poet, essayist. She's best known for her memoir, The Liars Club. I don't know if I want to talk about what I think I know about this poem. I think we'll just give it the respect it deserves. I'll read it, and it's difficult for me to read this poem, is what I'm saying without saying. It's going to be difficult to hear this poem for many of you who have hearts. Sorry, I'm such an asshole sometimes. No, I'm being serious right now. It's an incredibly difficult poem for all sorts of obvious reasons, and then other reasons. If you know anything about Mary Karr, it's this thing just. I just wept this morning. I don't know how I stumbled upon this or what I was doing, but let's just go for it. This is Suicide's Note, an annual. I hope you've been taken up by Jesus, though so many decades have passed, so far apart we'd grown, between love transmogrifying into hate and those sad letters and phone calls, and your face vanishing into a noose, that I couldn't today name the gods you at the end worshipped, if any, praise being impossible for the devoutly miserable, and screw my church who'd roast in hell poor suffering bastards like you, unable to bear the masks of their own faces. With words you sought to shape a world alternate to the one that dared inscribe itself so ruthlessly across your eyes. For you could never fully refute the actual or justify the sad heft of your body, earn your rightful space, or pay for the parcels of oxygen you inherited. More than once you asked that I breathe into your lungs like the soprano in the opera. I loved so my ghost might inhabit you, and you ingest my belief in your otherwise only probable soul. I wonder, does your death feel like failure to everybody who ever loved you? As if our collective CPR stopped too soon. The defib paddles lost charge. The corpse punished us by never sitting up. And forgive my conviction that every suicide's an asshole. There is a good reason I am not God, for I would cruelly smite the self-smitten. I just wanted to say, ha ha, despite your best efforts, you are every second alive in a hard gnawing way for all who breathed you deeply in. Each set of lungs, those rosy implanted wings, pink balloons. We sigh you out into air and watch you rise like rain. Well, I want you to know that I live for words to be put together in ways that make my heart beat problematically, like this just did. It made me swallow harder. It just broke me open, head to toe, violently. And that's a good thing, as hard as it is. There are listeners who tell me that poetry isn't their thing, and I get that. What most people don't know about poetry at first, because it can seem annoying and troublesome for sure, but there really are so many entry points into poetry. If you ever felt a spark in a conversation with someone, for instance, that's poetry. If you ever won or lost an argument, for that matter, that's even poetry. If a sentence spoken during a funeral in the eulogy brought a tear to your eye, that's poetry too. The homeless guy who's stringing bizarre words together that don't make obvious sense, that is definitely poetry. And when you start paying attention to this, it makes life so tender. And how can that ever be a bad thing? It's not. So I'm going to end it here, just peacefully and with love for all of you. I hope your day goes beautifully. And I will talk to you again on Monday. Take care of yourselves.